June 1815, Europe holds its breath. A man once defeated, exiled, forgotten has returned. His name? Napoleon Bonaparte. And in just a few days, one battle will decide the fate of an empire. Napoleon rose from a simple artillery officer to Emperor of France. He conquered most of Europe, kings feared him. Nations fell before him, but power creates enemies. In 1814, after years of war, he was forced to surrender. Exiled to a tiny island called Elba. Yet the story wasn't over. In early 1815, Napoleon escaped exile. He marched back to France. Instead of arresting him, soldiers joined him. Within weeks, he reclaimed his throne. Europe panicked. Britain, Prussia, Austria, and Russia formed a final alliance. They had one goal: end Napoleon forever. Two major forces stood in his path. The British army led by the Duke of Wellington, Arthur Wellesley, and the Prussian army led by Gebhard Leberecht von Blücher. Napoleon knew he had to strike fast. If these armies united, he would be crushed. So he chose a battlefield near a small village in Belgium, Waterloo. It had rained all night. The ground was thick with mud. Cannon wheels sank, horses struggled. Napoleon delayed his attack, waiting for the ground to dry. That delay would cost him dearly. Across the field, Wellington positioned his troops behind a ridge, hidden from French artillery. The tension was unbearable. By late morning, the battle began. French cannons roared. Infantry advanced. Wave after wave of French soldiers attacked British positions. But Wellington's men held firm. Gunfire, smoke, screams, chaos. Still, the British line did not break. In desperation, Napoleon ordered a massive cavalry charge. Thousands of horsemen thundered forward, but Wellington's troops formed defensive squares, walls of bayonets. The cavalry circled, attacked, but could not break through. Then, in the distance, something appeared. Dust clouds. It was the Prussian army. Blücher had arrived. As evening fell, French forces were exhausted, outnumbered, surrounded. Napoleon launched one final attack with his Imperial Guard, his most elite soldiers, but even they failed. For the first time in history, the Imperial Guard retreated. Panic spread. The French army collapsed. Waterloo was lost. After the defeat, Napoleon fled Paris. This time there would be no escape. He surrendered to the British. Exiled again, but now to the remote island of St. Helena, far from Europe, far from power, he would never return. The Battle of Waterloo ended over 20 years of war in Europe. It reshaped the continent. It marked the final fall of one of history's greatest military minds. A single day, one battlefield, and the fate of an empire decided. History changed forever. But here's the question. If it hadn't rained that night, would Napoleon have won? History often turns on the smallest details.